Welcome back, everyone! Today we have another Mattel Jurassic World Epic Evolution review, and it's going to be on the Wild Roar Gryposuchus. I found this at my local Walmart alongside the rest of the Wave 1 Wild Roars. Unfortunately, they have yet to show up at Target or online. Prehistoric crocodiliforms are always a fantastic addition to any prehistoric line given how underrepresented they are. It's amazing that, out of all the dinosaur companies, Mattel will be the one to choose an obscure species like Gryposuchus. Not only is this the first Gryposuchus figure, but this is also the first extinct Cenozoic animal that Mattel has ever made. Kinda strange how they haven't done any mammals like the woolly mammoth or the Smilodon, but hopefully they will in the future. So let's take a quick look at the packaging as always. I think Mattel did a fairly good job with the box, especially with the beautiful mountains and plains in the background. On the top right, you've got a river icon, of course since Gryposuchus was a gharial. On the left, T-Rex skeleton, Jurassic World title, Epic Evolution. On the side, Jurassic World logo and Epic Evolution once again. On the back, a render of the figure, instructions on how to add it to Jurassic World Facts app, and the other Wild Roars, which are all dinosaurs. The Megalosaurus, the Acrixonotosaurus, and the Hesperosaurus. So let's waste no time and see what this crocodilian has to offer. Here is the Gryposuchus out of the box, and I think that this is a very nice figure that exceeded my expectations. It's likely going to be my favorite of Epic Evolution Wave 1. Now, by looking at the style of the detailing and sculpt, I'm confident that whoever sculpted this is the same person that sculpted the Sarcosuchus, but I think that this Gryposuchus is a considerable improvement, and I'll get into that later in the review. Now let's do some measurements. From head to tail, this gharial is about 13 inches long and would probably be around 13.5 inches if its tail was fully stretched out. So Gryposuchus was estimated to be around 33 feet in length, so this would be in the 1/30 scale range. Starting off with the head sculpt, you can tell that this is a gavialid crocodilian because of how long and narrow the snout is. And if Gryposuchus is anything like the modern day gharial, then this is likely a female because only the males have the very large bulla on the tip of their snout. And on top of the eyes are these three large spikes. And what's fantastic about the teeth is, they're actually made out of rubber. So they can still look sharp and intimidating while still being safe for kids to play with. You also don't have to worry about paint defects. It's great that Mattel is doing this with their carnivorous animals. Going down the body is more of the rough crocodilian texturing with the not really uniform circular shaped scales on the torso and the neck, to the more square-shaped scales on the underbelly. Looking at the very beefy limbs, there's 5 digits on the hands and 5 digits on the feet. Now, actual crocodiliforms only have 4 digits on the feet, but this is a Jurassic Park product, so it shouldn't be that big of an issue. Onto the osteoderms, you can see the armor plating, 3 smaller osteoderms in the middle, and 2 large spikes on the sides. The spikes are very large and the most visible around the hip area. Going down the tail, the spikes on the side slowly converge into the tail fin, which helps the animal propel itself throughout the water. And the scales on the tail are very large and almost even. You can see that they are rectangular shaped. The paint job consists of a dark indigo as the main color, the underbelly is orange, the eye is yellow, and there's a barely visible purplish brown striping on the tail. At first, I was kind of mixed about this coloration because I thought orange looked odd on a crocodilian, but over time, it grew on me. I think the orange looks pretty neat, and it contrasts as well with the dark indigo. The articulation is very simple. All 4 limbs are on a ball joint, and you can move them outwards. And the tail can move 360. The head and neck can also move, but that's connected to an action feature where you can push or pull this button back, and the animal will open up its jaws and roar. I think that this is a pretty cool gimmick, though I would have preferred if Mattel went back to the simple action feature where you would press the button and the animal would just open its jaws and roar. But I will still give them credit for coming up with a unique action feature each year for these $15 figures. Starting off with our comparisons, here is the Gryposuchus next to the Sarcosuchus from Primal Attack. Looking at them side by side, the Sarco is clearly taller, larger, and more robust. But out of these two, I do prefer the Gryposuchus. Not only is the plastic quality better, but it has many better sculpting features. For one, the tails. The Grypo has the more appropriate looking crocodilomorph tail. It's vertically flat and has the one row of fin-like structures on it to help it propel itself throughout the water. But the Sarco doesn't have that. It's horizontally flat and it's got these two small rows of the fin-like structures. It makes you wonder, how is this thing supposed to swim? And another reason is the eyes. Now, the Sarcosuchus is still a great toy, but one of my flaws with it is that I did not like that cartoonish-looking angry eye. It really made it look out of place compared to the other Primal Attack dinosaurs. But the Gryposuchus does not have that. I really like the more neutral-looking expression of this eye. Here are the other Mattel crocodilomorphs, the Caprosuchus and the Dacosaurus. And why not bring in the rest of the Pseudosuchians? So we've got the Postosuchus, the Prestosuchus, and the recent Poposaurus. These three are not crocodilomorphs, but they are related to them. And who knew that out of all companies, Mattel would be the one to make a variety of Pseudosuchians. Here's the Sarcosuchus repaint, which has similar colors. Now let's do some epic evolution dinosaurs. So we've got the Danger Pack Alphaceratops and the Eoraptor vs Stegoros pack. Next we have the Strike Attack Tujiangosaurus and Gryposuchus. Next we've got the other wild roars, the Hesperosaurus, the Megalosaurus, and the Acrixonautosaurus. The Hesperosaurus is okay, but the sculpt is too cartoonish and I'm not a fan of its pose. The Megalosaurus is pretty good, though I'm not sold on its paint job, and the sculpt is kinda generic. But I really like the Acrixonautosaurus. It has proper body proportions, and it stands flawlessly. Definitely my second favorite behind the Gryposuchus. Lastly for epic evolution, here is in my opinion, the very ugly Neovenator. Next up is the Hammond Collection, Alan Grant, Irritator, and Carnotaurus. Here's the absolutely gigantic Rebor Grab-and-Go Alligator. And here's the stellar Rebor Dinosuchus and Sarcosuchus. We've been getting a lot of crocodilomorph figures lately. From Rebor, we've got the Dinosuchus, Sarcosuchus, and American Alligator. And from Mattel, we've got the Gryposuchus, Caprosuchus, and Dacosaurus. Here is the Papogarial, a modern-day relative of Gryposuchus. Of course, the last comparison is going to be with the Collectae Xiphactinus and Mini Xiphactinus. Well, that wraps up my review on the Mattel Jurassic World Epic Evolution Wild Roar Gryposuchus. Overall, I think that this is a very impressive toy. It retains some good features from the Sarcosuchus and even improves in areas like the sculpt of the eyes and the plastic quality. I have to say that this, the Acrixonautosaurus, and the Poposaurus are the breadwinners of Epic Evolution so far. All of them have wonderful sculpts, durable plastic, and they prove that Mattel is heading in the right direction for the main line. So this Gryposuchus, in my opinion, deserves a solid 9 out of 10. If you guys enjoyed this review, leave a comment down below, like and subscribe, it really supports my channel. And I will see you all in the next video.